into the ring with the usual ring honour guard. Almost a sort of choir boy surplus, that, isn't it? Last little gargle. Lewis describes himself as a man on a mission. The mission being to win the world title for Britain for the first time this century. The BP Directs are in the ring, so is Lennox Lewis. With the full entourage, Frank Maloney and the crew. Nat Basso waiting to make the announcements.
Gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Leather Promotions in association with Matchroom Boxing and Eagle Promotions present the main event of the evening, sponsored by Stormseal. An 8 rounds international heavyweight contest of 3 minutes each round. Between and introducing you with a record of 28 contests, 24 wins, 3 losses and 1 draw for Omaha, Nebraska, USA, Dan Murphy.
Not a bad record, 28 fights, 24 wins, 15 by KO.
And in this corner, with a record of 10 contests, 10 wins, 9 by the KO, the current Olympic super heavyweight gold medalist from London, Lennox Lewis.
Now I know all Lewis's fights have ended inside the distance. You're wondering why Nat Basso said 9 KOs out of 10. Well, of course, let's not forget that one of Lewis's wins was by disqualification.
15 stone and 3/4 pounds. Lennox scaled 16 stone, 6.5 pounds.
Big weight difference, over a stone in Lewis's favour.
Your referee, Mr. Ron Hackett of Urnston.
Ron Hackett, the referee, scheduled for 8 rounds. I will be very surprised, Jim, if it goes 8.
No, Lennox is, in my eyes, tremendous prospect, and these type of guys early in his career, I can't really see him standing the test. Lennox is Olympic champion. You know, as far as that goes, we know what sort of Olympic champions have done through the professional game, and Lennox looks a fine specimen, and to me I think he's going to go right out and go right through this fella, because it's all part of his climb to the top.
So the supporting cast clear the ring, and we're set for the big one.
Second out.
Lennox Lewis impassive, glances down at our commentary point and goes to work. Lewis himself says he realises he was a bit raw and crude against Daskala. Promises us a more polished showing. And he's got such a good jab. It is nice to see him use it as the first punch he throws tonight, instead of those big ugly round arm swings that he treated us to at the Royal Albert Hall.
This businessman Murphy looks very, very slender. He doesn't look one of the big powerful type of heavyweights. It's almost a cruiserweight.
Now Lewis outweighs him by just over a stone. Murphy scaled 15 stone and 3/4 pound, and Lewis over 16 stone, just a fraction over 16 stone.
I think Lennox will be looking to work the guy around the body as well. Seems to be very square on. I'm sure Lennox has got all the tools.
Well, Murphy fighting a cagey opening round, and who can blame him?
Now this is a more patient Lennox Lewis than we see recently at the Royal Albert Hall. Just trying to take his time, set the guy up, try and go through a few of his moves which he undoubtedly possesses, and show some of the talent that won him that Olympic gold medal.
And it's good to see, because he has got a very, very good left jab, and it's a hurtful left jab too. Well, with 16 stone behind it, you wouldn't expect anything else, would you?
And Lennox nice and relaxed, which is good to see. He's not looking to bomb the guy out right from the off, he's just taking his time.
That's right, not every fight has to be got over within one round. Ron Hackett saying, keep him up.
Almost sit on Murphy's face as if to say, you know, when's the bomb going to land? You know, he knows Lewis's credentials. And he's fighting and looks in awe of Lennox at this stage. Now Murphy's fighting strictly rear guard action, and I'm sure he'll be pleased just to hit the belt at the end of the opening round.
Well, Murphy in danger of doing what none of Lewis's last three opponents have managed to do, get beyond a round.
I think that's more a contribution to Lennox Lewis than to Mr. Murphy. Lennox seems to be taking his time, just feeling his way in. I'm sure he'll let the bombs go very shortly.
Dan Murphy, 27 years of age, obviously not ranked in Great Britain, and in its own way, that's a respectable enough record. Just the 3 defeats. I have to say though, one of those defeats was at the hands of Mike Simawelu. Simawelu knocked him out in 1 round, and I'm sure you don't need me to remind you that Lewis knocked out Mike Simawelu in 1 round.
That is a good record on paper. Very good record.
That's not a bad record on paper either, Jim.
But the biggest record like that Lennox has got is the fact that he's got an Olympic gold medal, and you know, there's no more to be said about it. You know, he's a pro before he enters the pro ring.
A lot of people have criticised the quality of Lennox Lewis opponents, but his first 10 fights, Lennox Lewis have lasted 21 rounds. Look at Frank Bruno's first 10 fights. Well, they just lasted 17 rounds. Make of that what you will.
This guy almost looks frightened of Lennox. You know, Lennox is just very intimidating. Standing over 6 foot, 16 stone, just creeping up on him, ready to lay the boom. And this is certainly a much improved Lennox Lewis from that last outing at the Royal Albert Hall against Jorge Dascala a week or so ago, when he looked, like I said, a raw novice. This is a much more polished performance. And it's not that he's doing anything dramatically different, it's just simply boxing composed. Just treating the guy with contempt, just taking his time before he gets through with the big ones. There's nothing coming back from Murphy. I'm not giving Lennox nothing to think about in terms of defensive and slipping shots.
Lewis opening his man up now. Ron Hackett saying to Murphy, I want some work from you.
I'm sure Lennox will try and make Murphy's instructions unnecessary. I'm sure as soon as Lennox opens up, this fight's going to be all over. Got that much confidence in Lewis. There's a feeling right hand. This guy looks like he's looking to get out very early. He really does. I think Lennox any minute now is going to just let it go and end it.
Dan Murphy displaying some fancy footwork. Precious little in the way of throwing a punch, but Lewis stalking him, digging a crisp right-hander into the body.
You know, as a commercial product and as a saleable product, this is the type of fight where Lennox has got to take the guy out in style. You know, as Tyson would say, he's got to execute the job. Good. Got an executionist. Warning.
It's that feeling of apprehension that Murphy must have, knowing that any moment Lewis is going to unload a bomb. The crowd, a few sporadic boos, not, I'm sure, Jim, aimed at Lennox Lewis, but aimed, I feel, at the negative display that Dan Murphy's putting up.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two things, Dave. I think, you know, you can't really win, because if Lennox blows the guy out, he'll get criticised. If he carries the guy 2 or 3 rounds, he's going to take stick. Why did you let the guy go so far? So, you know, it's a difficult situation to be in when you're an Olympic champion and there's high expectations expected of you. So I'm sure Lennox isn't going to let this fight go too much further. I'm sure he's going to come out fired up for round 3 and put an aggressive attack together and possibly end it in this round.
Watching this fight is a bit like playing with a balloon with a needle in your hand. You know it's going to burst. The only question is just when.
I'm sure Lennox ain't going to be prepared to let this guy take
Second
him out.
out, round 3.
Jim, I put your house and my house on this fight lasting less than 8 rounds. Round 3, we are scheduled for 8. But, well, Joe Lewis used to say they can run but they can't hide.
He's been nailed.
Got him, right hand, started it off, right above us, Murphy. Lewis pouring it on. Murphy tries to turn his man. Lewis going to war now.
Now this guy is really, really almost petrified of Lennox Lewis. And he's not even trying to fight back, he's just fighting strictly a rear guard action and looking really for a way out.
Well, with 16 stones of Olympic gold medalist coming at you, take a very brave man not to be frightened. Lewis loosening up and unloading.
There's that right uppercut, right anti-body, right uppercut, good combination.
Murphy covering up desperately, up the middle, and the American hangs on desperately. Ron Hackett breaks him. Murphy bleeding from the nose now. Surely the end for the American can't be too far away.
Lennox has just gone up a gear. He's just strictly put,
One clean shot would finish this. The American, I think, wants out.
strictly put his foot on the accelerator now, and he's working at a different gear, a different class, different league than anything Murphy's ever faced before.
Murphy throws a tentative left. Nowhere near.
As you said, Dave, I think it's just a matter of time.
Terrific body shots from Lewis. He's managed to hide for 2 rounds, but in this third, he's taken some heavy stick. Hasn't been down, though. It suggests the durability of nothing else.
I think there could be a surprise if he starts throwing punches back. Lennox will be surprised, as if that weren't in the script. And this guy is really on a survival course. How long the referee's going to let it go is the question.
Well, you've got to say, in Murphy's defence, he's got a degree of heart. A lot of opponents would have gone down at the first sign of a shot, said, thank you, where's my check, I'll be off now. And he's still there, he's still standing.
Courtesy of the referee. I think it's possibly the first 2 punches of the fight the man's thrown. He could pay dearly for that.
Well, Lewis, his longest fight so far was 5 rounds against Craig Gorrell. That was back in Lewis's Canadian hometown of Kitchener, Ontario, last autumn. And we're approaching that now, round 4.
See Lennox switching that right hand from the side of the body straight up to the chin. Quality shot, followed by a dummy and follow-up burst of punches. Picking the shots, class. That's class.
Wobbled, but he didn't go down. That was right above our commentary point, the American, with his back on the ropes.
I won't ask you, Dave, but I'm sure we've got Lennox Lewis in front.
Seconds out.
Just fractionally, Jim.
Round 4.
I'll agree.
Round 4. And those who reckon this will be another first-round blowout, no, sorry. I think this is a much more controlled performance from the Olympic super heavyweight gold medalist. Lost to Tyrrell Biggs, the eventual gold medalist in Los Angeles, but made no mistake in self. A rueful grin from Murphy, who was on the proverbial hiding to nothing. Shall we dance? Well, he's proving an elusive target, is Dan Murphy, if nothing else.
Probably getting a feel for the fight now as well. He feels he probably took someone else's best shots, and that he's still there.
The nose still oozing blood. And he's really hardly landed a shot on Lewis. Well, this is really where Lewis's inexperience is showing up. Jimmy's allowing Murphy to almost drag him down to his level.
Yeah, you know, from a professional point of view, you could be proud of Murphy. You know, he's come, he's hanging in there, he's took 1 or 2 good clumps, and he's still, I won't say trying to win, but he's trying to survive. And, you know, it's another problem that Lennox has got to sort out on his mission towards the world title. This won't do no harm going a few rounds.
Once again, the American pulled into the ropes above us.
Fast shots there from Lennox, switches him ever so well from the body to the head.
The American getting a little bit adventurous, getting cuffed off with the left hand for his pains. So, Murphy from Omaha, Nebraska, has successfully negotiated 4 rounds and is in danger of becoming the most durable opponent that Lennox Lewis has faced so far. As I said, Greg Gorrell lasted 5 rounds over in Canada, or was stopped in the 5th, I should say. So, if Murphy negotiates another round safely, we'll have to change our statistics a little bit. But he's taken some stick all right, but he's shown us he's got a chin.
Yeah, he certainly has. Now, Lennox has hit him with, I don't know if they're his best shots, but certainly some of his best shots. From Lennox's point of view, it's good experience. He's going for a few rounds against a frustrating guy who's refusing to lay down. And Lennox just got to stay cool, calm and collected. And I'm sure that he'll get through with the shots that'll end the fight sooner or later. Whatever happens, the rounds won't do him no harm.
Well, as he's been doing throughout the contest so far, the American backpedaling, Lewis pumping him into the body.
I'm sure the businessman Murphy will be thinking in terms of becoming the man to survive the longest with Lewis.
Look at this, confidence personified. Raise a laugh from the crowd. Raise a big laugh if he gets knocked out now.
I think this could infuriate Lennox into ending the job. I remember one statement he made earlier in his career, a few fights back, about someone who tried to belittle him, and it just annoyed him to the point of going out to get the job finished quicker than he had anticipated.
Murphy got through with a couple of jabs, unanswered. If you wonder what that was, it was Jim blowing his nose. All the sound effects on this fight. Punches, crowd noise, and the future world super featherweight champion blowing his nose. In the ring, meanwhile, Lennox Lewis is still pounding away. Dan Murphy fighting back.
Well, I certainly think, if I don't speak too soon, that Murphy's going to become the longest Lennox Lewis victim, I'll call it, in that time.
He hasn't got long to go. If he survives this round, the honour's his. If he survives this round. Lewis measuring him up with the left. I'm sure Lewis must be getting very frustrated now.
I'm sure he'd like to end the contest. He's trying and trying and trying. But as we've said, as the rounds have gone by, Murphy started to actually fancy the job. Not of winning, but of putting up as good a show as possible. And as far as that's concerned, he's served his purpose. That was a jolting round.
Well, Dan Murphy has done a star trick. He's boldly gone where no man has gone before. He's taken Lennox Lewis 5 rounds.
Yeah, it's easy to be critical of Lennox for not ending this fight earlier. But fair play to Murphy. Professional pride. He's hung in there. Lennox is obviously trying to get rid of the guy, but it's very, very difficult when a man like Lennox Lewis is out to impress and victory means everything, and a guy like Murphy really comes as, let's say as a journeyman, as a man who's got a job to do. But basically, he's not fighting with the ambition that Lennox Lewis is.
I hope it doesn't go the full distance, Jim, because I bet your house and my house that it finishes inside, eh?
Yeah, I wonder where I'll sleep tonight, Dave.
We'll doss down on a park bench here in Sheffield. Murphy's nose giving him a little bit of trouble, breathing problems. Round 6, scheduled for 8.
Wonder how much overtime Lennox is going to let Murphy work tonight, or whether he's going to go out now and try and end it right here and there. Really mean business from the start of this round.
Lennox Lewis having a little bit of surplus grease wiped off him.
Can't see what difference that'll make, but made the referee feel better.
Oh, good right hand.
This guy surprised me with his wiry type of strength. He's took a couple of good jolting body shots, and he hasn't buckled.
He's taken a hammering to the body, and you can't help but wonder how much more stick to the body he can take without wilting. He's still got trouble with his breathing. Nose has bled quite freely from the early stages.
Lennox intimidating him with a little grin of arrogance.
Looking a bit of a mess now, Murphy.
Yeah, look towards the referee there as well. That's
it's always a sign.
a bit of a signal that he's ready to call it a day.
And I think Ron Hackett, Murphy is so far behind. He hasn't really landed a punch worthy of the name of Lewis throughout the fight.
A good aggressive attack by Lewis now will end the fight.
cracking right hand again.
The ref's going to step in.
Murphy surviving just on pure bravery now, and I think Ron Hackett really could step in and say enough's enough.
He's taking an unnecessary beating now.
Yeah, he's looking a mess, and now is the time. Now's the time to stop it. That's it. That's all over. That's all over.
Good timing. And the rounds wouldn't have done Lewis no harm at all. I'm sure he's pretty pleased with that himself. Kept his composure. And that's win number 11 for Lennox Lewis.
11 out of 11, but Murphy at least having the satisfaction of going further than any of Lewis's previous 10 opponents. But the final result, a stoppage win for Lennox Lewis in 6 rounds. And he was taking a bit of a beating there at the end.
Referee timed it perfectly.
So what we're going to do is wait for the official announcement from Nat Basso. Oh, for me, darlings, you shouldn't have. And then we're going to take a look, Jim and I, at a few highlights from Lennox Lewis's career. Jim and I will attempt to work out just how good this man really is. So, the flowers, the victory.
Jim.
Nice. Nat Basso. Well, make the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen,